All right, my G. So what's going on, man?
Not much, buddy.
All right, all right. So you wanted to come on and share your trucking adventure with the L.O.M community. I really do appreciate you coming on right quick.
Not a problem. Not a problem, buddy.
Let's see. Trying to find. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, man. So what you want? What you want to touch on? What you want to touch on right quick?
Just pretty much, man. I listened to follow your podcast. Pretty much, I went back through and watched a lot of the archive videos. It kind of sounds like a lot of the guys out there, that have been on the show, they kind of get a raw end of the deal. And, I just want everybody out there to know that, there is good trucking companies. I've been pretty fortunate. I can't say that I can say that I really haven't worked for any bad companies. One just starting out fresh out of school, I got hooked up with a not so great company, but I've been pretty fortunate. I've been out here since 2014, and I've been around the trucking industry my whole life, but I'm one of the fortunate ones that I've kind of skated through with all the with the good companies. So just let guys know that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm jumping off, is this a needed suicide? I hope my parachute don't let me down. I hope I get to fly. I don't know why I feel like I gotta die to be alive. I don't know why it feel like people are standing still with no desire. I'm on a wire, wobbling back and forth, the balance clown. I won't be happy if I'm not moving forward, then send me down. My vibration for eternity will continue to come around. So I gotta do this right, I gotta live, I gotta.
What's going on, everybody? Lockoutmen podcast is back again. That's what I do over here. Welcome to the Lockoutmen podcast show, where we park in politic with all our guests tonight. And wait a minute before I say that. No, I had to get back to that part. And tonight's special guest is my man. Wait. Brad, right? Brad.
Yep.
LAWHORN or Longhorn?
LAWHORN. You got it.
Hey, we're gonna have to talk about that. But tonight's special guest is my man Brad LAWHORN. That's an interesting last name, my G. LAWHORN.
Yeah.
What's the background of your last name?
I believe it is like a German heritage. Don't know. Really haven't looked a whole lot of it up.
When I was a kid, and when I got older, before my grandpops, before he passed, we all had to sit down to see the origins of our last name, and it was a pretty interesting story that he gave about our last name. I never knew that. Like, my mom said that we're originally from the South, but I don't know. I was born up in Cleveland, so she keep telling me to go ahead and get this ancestry.com, but I don't know. I probably might get it. I don't know. Probably might get it. So
I know on one side of my family we're like big Native Americans, and on the other side we're Germans. So
it's just a melting pot. That's all it is.
Yep. Just throwed everybody in a pot and stirred it up.
So Brad, man, we met each other in a Facebook group, in one of the in one of the groups it's a group that's advertising on Facebook. I'm not sure if that was you that made the post about finding out if they had any more Freightliners there. Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, so for said company, did you work for them?
Yes, I worked for them for a year and 3 months as a local driver.
Oh, okay, okay. So let's talk about that company right quick because I talked to Ed. Unfortunately, he didn't work for the company, but he was very vocal about the company. And the company that we're talking about, of course, is CLE Transportation it's out of Norfolk, right? Norfolk, Ohio.
Norwalk.
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 Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm messing it up. It's out of Norwalk, Ohio, but the actual terminal is in Huron, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. So Ed said in his rant, I guess, that it wasn't possible for a driver to do about 3,100, 3,200, 3,300 miles on e-logs in a 70-mile-per-hour governed truck. You worked there for them as a local driver. So was you on their CPM or was you getting salary?
I got salary paid.
Okay.
They kind of started a new thing when I was actually one of the first drivers into it. We did what they called their local regional. I ran local 4 days a week, and 1 day a week I would stay in the truck. So we made a salary for doing that.
Okay. What was well, you don't have to, well, do you still work for the company or no?
No, I don't. I do not work for them. I left them to become an owner operator.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
your stay with the company was, I mean, by the way that I was reading your text in the post, you look like you had a good time there.
Yeah, I can't say anything bad about the company. I mean, they treated me right. They done right by me. Everything they told me, they stood behind. And but that's a two-way street. If you tell them something, the owner expects you to, be a man. And if you tell him something, hey, you follow through with what you tell him.
Okay, that's what's up. So what do you have to say? I'm sure you read the post and you saw what Ed said. Did you see the video with him that I had him on? Did you see
Yes.
that? What do you have to say, if anything, about all of that?
I say that it's very possible. I had a buddy that worked there, and he would get about 3,100 miles a week in a governed truck. It's very possible to do. I mean, you figure from Huron, Ohio to Laredo, Texas, and back, you're at what, 3,058 miles.
At least.
So it's very possible, and you can do it in a week. 5-6 days, depending on how quick you want to get back home.
All right. So you worked there for what, a year and a half?
Yep.
How did you come to find them?
I actually had a buddy of mine that was working there. He had just started and was running over the road, and I was taking my time off of driving. I took a year off and took a job with a local township here, and just wasn't for me. So I'm like, I got to get back out on the road. And he's like, man, I'm working for this company. So far, everything's great. So I kind of checked them out a little bit, made a couple phone calls, did their little short application online, and the next day got a call from the recruiter, did a phone interview, and was hired on the spot went and took a drug test and went to orientation the very next week.
All right. What the recruiter, who was the recruiter at the time?
At the time, it was Jose.
Oh, it was Jose.
It was Jose.
Okay. Is Jose still there? I
I believe Jose has transitioned back out of the office and is now back out on the road as a driver.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
you're familiar. You familiar with the new recruiter there though?
I've never met her.
Oh, okay.
Just seen her in your video.
Okay. Nice lady. And she pretty much knows her stuff when it comes to the company. When you went out, now let me ask you this. When you did your orientation and you did the road test, let us know how the road test went for you.
For me, I was a nervous wreck. I mean, I know how to drive. I kind of took some, city streets there in Huron and up into Sandusky and then drove all the way out to Cleveland and to their, they had a drop lot out there. And when I first took off, my mirrors was set, but I'm the type of guy, I'm a bigger guy.
Mhm.
I ride, seat all the way on the floor. And when I took off, I had air in the seat, which it's, 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. But Jose, he was laughing. He said, get comfortable. He's like, I know you know how to drive. He's like, just get comfortable. And from then on, I was fine. It was,
So Jose,
he had me sliding. The tandems was all the way to the back though.
So Jose was the one that took you out for the road test.
I had Jose, the other guy. There was 2 other guys in my orientation class, and me and one other guy, which actually is my cousin. We both went there at the same time. We had Jose, and the other guy went out with Igor. So his was a little tougher.
And to be honest, it is from what I heard, they tend not to tell people that he is the owner.
Yeah.
And that's and to be honest with you, that's a good idea because, it just shows that the owner took, what's the word I'm looking for? He take ownership in his company, man. Like,
oh yeah, he will take the initiative.
Right.
And if they need loads picked up, Igor has his own personal truck setting on the lot, and he will jump in it and go run loads. He doesn't care.
And you don't see that in some companies like that. I mean, you probably might see it with like owner operators, but with him running a fleet of trucks as what he's running, usually you'll see him sitting up in the office somewhere clear across the country. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I can't tell you how many times I was out on the road and called in for a dispatch, and Igor's the one that answered the phone. He will dispatch you. He will get out and run. He doesn't care. He's there 100% for his drivers.
So you would say this particular company, he actually will look out for his drivers just to make sure that they are right.
I think so. Yep.
So while you was there for the year and a half that you was there, give us an example of what type of problems that you would encounter with a shipper and receiver, and how would Igor and his team help you out of that situation, if any?
Well, for me, it was, I was a local driver. So if I went to a place to do a pickup, one thing that I liked is there was no waiting. You get there, if that load's not ready, you call in. And if they don't put you in a dock right away and start loading your truck, you leave. We don't sit around and wait. We got other stuff we can go pick up. We'll come get it another day. we'll send another truck for it. So that was nice. I only had one problem there, and it wasn't with nobody that worked there, nothing like that. It was, I picked up a load and I was actually delivering to every school in the Mentor school system up in Mentor, Ohio. I was delivering chalkboards.
Okay.
And my very first stop of the day, got it off, and they're like, Brad, I don't think you can get all these off in one day. I'm like, well, I'm going to try, So got the first one off, got the second one off, and I'm following directions off of the shipper's paperwork into the third school. And I'm like, I know I shouldn't go this way, but this is how it says I have to get in.
Right.
Maybe it's saying I have to get in this way because they're doing road construction.
Right.
So I followed their directions to a T, and I turned a corner and turned another corner to come back up to the school. And when I made that second turn, I ripped a guy's cable line down right during OSU football.
Wow.
So, I mean, it never cost me my safety bonus. I got every safety bonus when I worked there. I got pulled over one time for a roadside DOT inspection. Got a clean bill of health. So, never had any problems like that. And, Igor's like, hey, my driver followed your directions into that place. That power line's on you, that cable line's on you.
Right.
So, he stood behind me, and because I followed the directions to a T, even though I knew I shouldn't have went that way, that's the way they said to go. But,
all right, that's what's
I guess.
Shout out to Igor, man. I mean, the places the last place that I drove for, man. I mean, we would get, I would get there on time, and then they don't have the load ready. I mean, I literally sat at the damn dock for 5 hours before I told them. I was like, look, man, I'm about to go and get something to eat, yo. Clock running, and I'm still in the dock. Left, came back, still in the dock, still not done. They didn't get done with me until 10 o'clock that damn night, bro. And I've been there since 11 o'clock in the morning. So
you don't do that at CLE.
No, you saying no sitting? If I was in a situation like that, I will call the dispatcher there and say, hey, they still got me in the door.
And then he makes the phone call on his end and says, you have 20 minutes to start loading my truck. If you don't load him, we're leaving.
I like that. So you spent a year and a half with him, but you decided to go owner operator. So let me bring it back a little bit. How long have you been driving altogether?
I started driving in 2014, and in 2017 I took that year off and took it off from driving. I still drove Class B trucks, but just wasn't driving Class A tractor trailers.
So what you was doing before you got into trucking?
I drove tow truck right out of high school.
Oh,
started driving wreckers.
That's what's up. I love roadside. That's what I'm saving up for right now, man. I still got my roadside business and all like that, but I'm saving up for a wrecker, and I'm thinking, bro, I'm thinking going big time, because these big boys that be towing these semis be making some cheese, bro.
Oh yeah. There's a local company here in the town that I'm in, and they don't pull their heavy wrecker out of the garage for no less than $1,200. And that could be $1,200 to tow a truck from their shop 4 miles down the road to the dealership.
I know, right? I talked to a young lady named Dee the trucker, and the record came out to pull her out, just to wrench her out. $900 for 15 minutes of work.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
$900 for 15 minutes of work.
Mhm.
Bro, the average truck driver got to drive a whole week to get $900. So that man made that man's paycheck in 15 minutes.
Yep.
That's crazy. We in the wrong business, bro.
Hey, I had my fill of it, buddy. I did 12 years.
We are in the wrong business, my G. So so now now you transition from CLE Transportation to being an owner operator. What steps you took to go that route?
I had it set in my mind that that's what I wanted to do, and I just started putting money back, and actually was able to find a decent starter truck. Bought it personally off of a guy, and I leased on to a company who I'm still with. Um, and man, I mean, it's unlimited money. I've now I don't run over the road anymore. I'm an owner operator on a dedicated account, and I'm home. I get to sleep in my bed every night.
Now, see, here's my thing that I'm putting together every time I talk to owner operators, lease operators. It's almost the same, like the same thing, but different. So for the people that actually like going to lease through a company, I mean, wouldn't it just be better to just go ahead and save the money, get their own truck, and then just lease on to a company? What would be the difference in that?
Well, that's what I do. I own my own truck, but I'm leased on to the company that I work for, just running under their rights. Um, I get my base plates through them. I do all of my insurance through them. They take care of the IFTA for me, so I don't have to worry about doing that. And I still reap the benefits of making the bigger pay. You know, yeah, it's just like having your own authority. You still got to pay for your own maintenance and your own fuel. Um, right now, I think it's the best bet for me. Um, Within the next 5 years, I do plan on stepping out, getting my own authority. And, I got some buddies that have done it here recently, and, they're doing great for themselves. So,
So
you know, maybe before 5 years.
now of course, I wouldn't phantom to understand how lease goes because I'm a company driver. So I talked to a lot of guys that leased on to a company that leased a truck from a dealership. And I also have talked to, owner operators. But being a how can I say this? So being an owner operator, what all entails of being an owner operator? You're able to book your own loads. You're able to book your own loads. You can tell them what you want, when you want, how you want it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, for the company I'm leased on to, we have that right to, we pick our own loads. Um, we pretty much set the rate for it on some things. Some things we're not able to because it's already a preset rate. Um, with the run that I'm on, it's a dedicated route. Preset, the pay is preset through the steel company that we haul out of. which it's not, it's not a bad rate. Rates are actually going up for us. I run flatbed, all steel. So rates are going up. Hopefully everything works out and they keep going up because the price of fuel sure isn't going down.
Right? What do you say to people? What do you say to guys that I talked to this, now this was off air, but I talked to this one guy, and he was just saying that how everybody out here is making money for everybody on top of everybody. And I was like, well, being an owner operator is the goal for some of these drivers that's coming out here. And he was like, yeah, but you're still making money for somebody else. And I thought about that for a minute, and I was like, you're kind of right, because you're making good money, right?
Right.
So you're making good money, but technically you still making more money for the guy that you leased on to. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, we, as a lease, what they call a leased on owner operator, we make 75% of the line haul, 100% fuel surcharge. So of every load that I pull, he makes 25% of. And, we got 50 drivers out of our terminal. 2 of the 50 are company drivers. So that leaves 48 leased on owner operators out of our terminal. That the owner of our company makes 25% of every load that we pull.
So for you being the owner, for you being the owner operator, in order to get 100% of every load, you will have to be have your own authority. And for the people, right. And I know that word authority been thrown around a lot of times. So please, from your point of view, explain what authority is and what it does.
Your own authority is your own DOT numbers, on the side of your truck, your own MC number. That gives you, it's your company. You're not, running for, yes, I own the truck, but I drive for Schneider. No, I own the truck. It's, Jim Jones Trucking. If you're Jim Jones and you get your own authority, you're still gonna, you're still not gonna get 100% of the load, because unless you have direct freight from a direct shipper, you got to get your loads from somewhere. So somebody's still making money off every load that you pull. If you pull a broker load, somebody's still making money. That broker's making money off that load.
So you say you said what, in a couple of years, that you're just gonna go ahead and get your own authority?
Yeah, within 5 years, I'll have my own.
Now you went got your truck, paid cash for it. Everything's yours. Nobody don't have no say so on it. You're the captain of your ship. Why you didn't sign on the lease on with CLE Transportation?
I wanted to go run some flatbed. I liked working there, but I like to be able to get out and move around.
Okay.
I don't mind to throw tarps and chains, and it doesn't bother me. I got broad shoulders. I was made with broad shoulders for a reason. Time to put them to work. It just, as the trucking community would say, the door swinging got old quick.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Bumping docks, I'm not into bumping docks. I'd rather, get somewhere and, you're hauling a coil, you get there, 5 minutes, you're unloaded, you're going down the road to get your next one.
Yeah, that's what I tend to see in the flatbed world, because the one place where I was at, oh, that dock, horrible. But the flatbed guys, they came in, done. Fold that stuff back up, they on to the next. Me, I say, how old are you?
37.
Yeah, you're young. See, yeah, exactly. I proved my point right there. Flatbed is a young man's game. That's what I'm saying.
Believe it or not, we have quite a few drivers out of our terminal that are 55 and older.
I can't see how they do it. I can't see how they do it, man.
There's smarter ways to flatbed. You don't run an open flatbed. You get a Conestoga. Then there's no tarping.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. But wait a minute, you still got to throw them straps, though.
Yeah, throwing straps is like tying your shoes, though. There's no weight to them straps. If you can bend over and tie your shoes, you can strap a flatbed load down.
what advice you got for some cats that's thinking about coming in the trucking game and doing flatbed? What advice do you got for them?
My main advice would be, don't get discouraged. I got it kind of, laid back and, kind of chilled out where I'm at. Flatbedding is hard work. It is, throwing chains, it can be hard work if you let it be hard work. Just for one, don't get discouraged. You may have to go through a couple companies until you find the right company for you. I got lucky. I've only, worked for a couple companies throughout my, whole trucking career, and every company I've worked for, except for the one right out of school, I don't have anything bad to say about them. I've learned a lot. Listen to the older guys out there. I mean, me myself, I'm not that old, but I've pulled a lot of equipment. I've pulled everything from, liquid tankers to bulk pneumatic tankers to high-sided, dump trailers. The company that I used to work for, we had all that equipment. So I got very versatile in pulling, different types of trailers. My main thing is listen to the older guys. They'll teach you something. And number one, I know a lot of companies, a lot of the big companies, they don't want you to run radios. I'm a stickler. That's the first thing I do when I get in the truck. After I fire it up, get my pre-trip done, I turn my radio on. That thing can save your life. A lot of guys say, I just hear that mumble jumble. Well, you just turn it down to where you can just barely hear that, but you also have to keep your ear out for what's going on ahead of you.
So you say definitely get a CB.
Definitely get a CB and spend the money and buy a good CB. Don't buy one out of the truck stop. If you do, take it to a CB shop and get it worked on. It doesn't cost that much. I got a big radio.
Citizen band.
But I worked into it. You know what I mean? I bought a cheap radio out of a truck stop and I took it and got it worked on and turned it into a bigger radio. And then I bought an even bigger radio. I worked up to my big radio. But run a radio. It can save your life. Yeah, you might hear some,
rhetoric.
You get around big cities or get around truck stops, you're going to hear people on there running their lips, but it can save your life.
I agree. I think the last company I was with, definitely had a radio in their trucks. Company that I'm with right now definitely have a radio. Nicer radio. Nice truck. I'm just saying the truck is nice. I like it. Never drove a Mac before, but I'm liking it now. So again, back to CLE. What do you we was in a green room and you was saying that there are good companies out there for new guys to go with. Would you put CLE in that category of good companies to go with?
I would, yeah. After you get your time in, I do believe they require 12 months OTR before they'll hire anybody. You know, if somebody has their 12 months, you know, they're 1 year in and they're looking for a good company, a good family owned company, I believe CLE is one of them.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So you guys hear it first from a guy, from a driver that did drive for CLE Transportation, and he has said that it is possible to get 31 to 3,200 miles a week in a governed truck at 70 miles per hour. So shout out to Brad LAWHORN and CLE Transportation. Brad, man, I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Not a problem.
How I've said that that CLE Transportation was in existence for over 10 years, right? I mean, it's still a young company though, right?
Yeah, they're still a young company. DSX, their partner company, DS Express, they've been around for a little while. They started out as DS Express, and they do their warehousing, I believe, through them. And then they started the CLE Transportation as a sister company to DS Express.
Now their warehouse is located out in Huron as well. I heard that the back side of the warehouse is kind of tight back there.
Nah, I never had no problem.
Is kind of tight back there, you know, especially when you have to blind side back into one of their slots back there. Just saying. I'm just hearing that. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, every driver has their preference. When you pull in, their rule is your tandems go to the back when the trailer goes in the dock. So you pull in, you pull off to the right side of the building in the driveway because it's one way around there. And you do your post trip right there. Open your door, you know, before you do your post trip, slide your tandems to the back.
Right.
Because they require pictures to be taken for pre-trip and post-trip.
Okay.
So when you slide your tandems to the back before you do your post-trip, then you take your pictures. Well, if there's a trailer in the dock and the tandems didn't get slid, for one, you're covered because your tandems are slid in your post-trip to the back of the trailer.
Okay.
Do your post-trip, do your pictures, open your doors, you hit the dock like a piece of cake.
Okay.
You have no tail swing. You know, I just stayed close to the trailers that was in the dock, and you got plenty of room to cut it in there. I even did it with a Freightliner Classic, so there's plenty of room.
God damn it, man. Long lows, Freightliner Classic. I don't think I could do that. Let's talk before you get up out of here. You did mention and you said that what is it? DS Express?
DS Express, yeah.
So that's like their warehouse / broker thingy, something.
Right.
Okay. So everything that runs now, you said that they got a warehouse there. So that's where they like consolidate everything in their warehouse and get their trucks ready for delivery. How did that work?
Well, that at the Norwalk terminal, that is actually a warehouse, and that is where all of the behind the scenes HR and all that, they are in Norwalk.
Okay.
They have a warehouse portion in Norwalk also where, you know, they hold freight for customers.
Okay.
Outside carriers will come in, you know, they'll load their trucks, whatnot. And then the Huron terminal, that's more of like the cross docking because they're, you know, they're an LTL company.
Right.
You know, you pull a lot of LTL freight for them.
Now let me stop you right there. Let people know what LTL means.
Less than trailer load.
Okay.
So which means me, when I worked there as a local driver, I would run around and, you know, I would make multiple pickups, you know, one pallet here, one pallet there, you know, half a trailer, and they book everything by the foot. or, you know, with some people, they'll do it by the pallet if they can double stack them or whatnot. And then I would take my trailer to Huron, drop it in the dock, and they would pull everything off the trailer, and it would, you know, they do their logistics part of it, and they would put, you know, all the Florida stuff together, all the, you know, North Carolina stuff together, all the Texas loads.
Okay.
So you'll have multiple stops, you know.
How much?
But they also pay stop pay. So
that's what I was about to ask you. But you got salary. So that stop pay, did you still get stop pay on top of that, or it didn't matter?
When I ran regional, I still got stop pay. If I had multiple stops, they still paid me stop pay.
Okay. What was, if you don't mind me asking, what was their stop pay?
I believe, don't quote me on it, I think it was like $25 per stop is what we made.
Now, is it like
maybe 20?
Did they do stop pay like some companies? Like I would do let's say I would do a stop pay like at the previous company where I was at. It was a couple of times that I did multiple stops, but the first stop is technically free. You'll get the second stop. Starting with the second stop will be paid.
Correct. First stop is free.
Yeah. So that's how they do it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. Well, guys, again, CLE Transportation. If you guys want to give them a call, you can definitely do that. You can also talk to Michelle. She's the current recruiter there. Hey, let them know Lockoutmen sent you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
They can call and tell them that the Mansfield guy, you know, I guarantee Igor remembers me. When I put that message on there about that truck, you know, hey, tell him to come look at it. So I know he remembers me.
That's what's up, man. So again, CLE Transportation, you guys can look them up on Facebook. CLE Transportation, definitely go back into the archives. I had Michelle on the show a number of times. So if you guys want to get in contact with her, let her know that you might be interested, something like that. And hey, let them know Lockoutmen sent you. Brad, man, again, I do appreciate you coming on tonight, chopping it up with us, man. I know you got to get some sleep and we got to get rolling in the morning and all like that, man. So again, you are a citizen. So if you have anything that you want to promote, come on, chop it up, whatever, definitely holler at me, man. And I will definitely get you on.
All right, buddy.
All right, that's going to do it for the Lockoutmen podcast show for this evening. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like content like this and more, like the video, period, point blank. You can subscribe and comment and all that other good stuff. Like the video, though. That's what I want you guys to do. Like it. If you want to come on and chop it up with me, just like my man Brad here, you can hit me up in the Gmail. That's lockoutmenpodcast@gmail.com, or go over to Instagram and hit me up over there. You can say, yo, Lockoutmen, I got something to say. Just like my man. You say, yo, I got something to say. What I do? Get them on and we chop it up. That's what we do. Until next time, everybody, y'all take it easy, and I am gone.
Show, yeah, get it in, yeah. Party over here, get it in, yeah. She like a liquor clear, get it in, yeah. She get it from a deal, get it in, yeah. Make it disappear, get it in, yeah. Park it in the rear, get it in, yeah. Now make it reappear, get it in, yeah. Freaky with no fear, get it in, yeah. Pop it in the clutch, girl, get it in, yeah. Jump on it, double dutch, girl, get it in, yeah. Drop it, double clutch, girl, get it in, yeah. Pump it up, butt lift, now downshift.